Okay, so guys, welcome to Women Who Wow. I think we've called this dressing for like strategic.
Dressing to connect, I think. I looked it up when I put the title on
okay, perfect.
The presentation before.
I want to welcome everybody. I'm Stephanie Marone. I'm here with Melanie Lippman. She's going to take this away in a minute or two. I was explaining for those who just joined, I was so inspired by Melanie's boards. I don't know what you call them, Melanie, when you put up on the on
my
social
outfits
media.
that are my passion project.
But they always get me excited about color. And so I was showing everyone my new blazer, and it just so happened Melanie's wearing this a similar.
Mine is a little different because mine has it's like a little bit like relaxed and 3/4 sleeve and doesn't have any buttons. And it's like super comfortable. But it is literally the same exact color, which is kind of funny.
Love it. I love the bright color. I'd love to know like what you guys are, and put in the chat, like if you have a signature piece that you wear or a color that you love. I posted something with a bunch of pictures of the things I've been wearing lately, and I'm doing some bold colors. And a lot of times I do bold earrings. One of the earrings in one of the holes in my ear today is one of my Darth Vader earrings. And today is National Star Wars Day. So
may the fourth be with you.
May the fourth be with you, Melanie. But one of the things that, like, I love wearing the Darth Vader earrings because you have to come up really close to my ears to see them. And then when I'm presenting, it just makes me feel a little more badass. So I just love that. So I'd love to hear from you guys what you're wearing, those sorts of things. So that'd be great. And Melanie, and to everybody else, I just want to show you guys something I'm obsessed with. The whole line of Spanx pants, I'm obsessed with work pants, but then these jeans, these are the Spanx flare jeans, and they make them in a petite size. So I just feel like I have to share them with the entire world. They're amazing. And they have no like front, like they look like, jeans and everything, but they don't have like the button and the zipper in the front, and you just pull them on and they literally suck in everything. And they have like a regular black pant version of this. And I'm 5'2", and this is the petite version, and it fits great. And it's like either, extra small, medium, large, extra large. And I'm obsessed with Spanx. So check out Spanx.
They're like real pants, but feel like yoga pants. I was presenting at a conference 3 weeks ago, and the same day I was presenting, there was also like a yoga thing going on. And it was like one of those things I'm like, I have to present in front of a group of attorneys and also do yoga in the same day. And I was like, thanks, pants. Thank you. Because they got some yoga pants during the yoga session. And then I threw this blazer on I have in like navy with some like pins on it. It's been in like a post on LinkedIn at one point. And I put that together, and it automatically like went from yoga into like being able to, present in front of a bunch of tax attorneys and IP attorneys and all of the things.
I love it. I mean, we get creative, and you'll see both Melanie and I are wearing jeans on the bottom today. Although, like I said, like I've been going to the office 2 days a week lately, a law firm office, and my style has 1,000,000% changed, as I'm sure many of your styles have changed. And again, we'd love to hear from you. If you guys have questions, again, put that in the Q&A, put that in the chat. We'll be checking. Melanie's going to present to us, but I know I've changed. First of all, my weight has changed, but second of all, I just want to be more comfortable. Like Melanie, I remember the days of asphyxiation by pencil skirt and asphyxiation by sheath dress. I used to like wear these like very tight fitting clothes, and I'm like, why am I doing that? I want to be comfortable now. So I'm all about the comfort. I don't know about you guys, but I also don't want to wear yoga pants every day. I feel better when I look better. And I'm also dressing for my age, and I'm dressing for myself, because I know that when I look better, I feel better. I feel more confident. I'm getting more work done. And, I don't want to be so conservative, but I also don't want to be like wearing a sports bra and yoga pants, which I did for the first 9 months of the pandemic. So all right, Melanie. So I'm so excited. Tell us about you. And then I don't have any slides today. I will put up some links in the chat while Melanie's talking that to connect with Melanie. You should follow Melanie on LinkedIn 1,000,000%, but also Instagram. I love your posts on Instagram, and I'll put links to all this stuff. And you tell us about you and your programs and all that stuff.
Yeah, let's get started. I feel like part of that is part of here, so we could get started in that. So what we're chatting about is 3 steps to use our clothes to connect, because it doesn't have to be this big, overwhelming situation. We can just learn 3 things and learn how to do that. So this session is for you if you desire to have a greater impact. The idea of getting out of your black blazer and really using your clothes to get to the next level of your career is really part of you making a decision to show up and to get noticed. As women that work in male-dominated fields, I feel like for years, we've all been brainwashed that we need to look like everyone else, where we already look different in the rooms that we're in just because that we're a woman. So, but this is knowing that, and then also taking the next step of, I want to stand out and I'm just not going to blend in with everyone else. You want a system to simplify getting dressed, so it gets to be easy, as opposed to each day going in front of your closet and being like you're reinventing the wheel each day. The 4th thing is that you want to save time, money, and mental energy, because the way that we start our day is the way that our whole entire day ends up. So if you start your day in overwhelm and picking yourself apart in the mirror, it's going to kind of happen throughout the rest of your day. So we want to make sure that we're starting our days on the right foot, and you desire to not think about your clothes throughout the day. So one of the biggest things that I feel like people that get on the phone with me or start a conversation with me is say, who am I to invest in getting some help with my wardrobe or think about getting dressed? And because I don't want to be someone who's thought of as pretty or beautiful, or I'm not a fashion plate. That is not my desire whatsoever. But when you put some strategy behind getting dressed, what gets to happen is you don't think about your clothes throughout the day, and you don't second guess your clothing decisions. So it's not about getting a million compliments. It's about you feeling in your power throughout the day, and not being like, why did I wear this skirt? Or I wish I didn't wear this, or something like that, which really starts to chip away at your confidence throughout the day. And you kind of start becoming like the turtle, as opposed to being like, I'm good with what I have, and I'm just going to move on with my day and feel great about sharing my information. So my approach to getting dressed is different than anyone else that's out there, from what I found. My pillars that I really teach on is that clarity provides confidence. So once you understand what you should be wearing, why you should be wearing it, and why it works for you, you will confidently do the thing. As women that are either attorneys or work in the law profession, you guys like to be right, and you don't want to ever be caught doing something wrong. So once you have a true understanding of what works for you, you are going to feel confident enough to step out of your comfort zone, as opposed to saying, I hope I'm not doing this wrong, and I don't know if I should be doing it. The second thing is that it's based on proven systems and rules. So it's not just, hey, let's try this and let's hope it works. It's really about your own personal set of rules that give you the freedom to step out of your comfort zone, so you know that you're doing it right. And my third approach is that I love teaching women how to make the most out of what they already own, because you probably have a lot of good stuff in your closet. You just may not be using it correctly. And you have really no right to go and buy more stuff unless you understand what you did wrong with the things that are not supporting in your closet. So I don't believe in trial and error. I believe in getting really clear about what's working in your closet, making the most of it, and having an understanding of what you didn't do correctly, so you'll never make that mistake again. So let's discuss the elephant in the room. Is you're probably saying, I don't have time to think about getting dressed. I have 7 million other things on my plate. And I get it, because my clients, the majority of them are attorneys. And if they're not an attorney, they run hospitals, they own their own companies, they are women in financial services. These are women that do not work 40-hour work weeks. They probably work 60+ work weeks and are moms and all of the things. But here's what gets to happen is that when you invest and have a system and you understand what works for you, you get back all of your time, your money, and your mental energy. So you're not really feeling deflated every time you get dressed. So I know that some of my clients literally work 20-hour days some days, but they will carve out the 40 minutes for themselves to figure this all out. Or they will find the 10 minutes to figure out how to get dressed. When it's something that's a priority, we always find the time to do it. The second thing is that may be coming into your mind, no one should really care about what you're wearing. And that's the truth. No one should care about what you're wearing. They really should be hiring you because of your achievements, what you can bring to the table, your years of experience. But we live in a society where image is really, really important. And we want to make sure that we are not contradicting all of the hard work and effort you've done for years by, not dressing a way that is in line with you, not attracting your ideal clients. And also, more than anyone, especially if you're a practicing attorney, you guys like to collect data. And the first data that we send out in the universe is by our clothes. So if someone walks into a room, you're automatically saying, she looks intimidating, she looks friendly, she looks approachable. And 9 out of 10 of those messages are coming from what someone is wearing. So you get to have control of the thoughts that are being thought about you when you are thinking about your clothes in a much more strategic approach, as opposed to just winging it and saying, no one should care about what I'm wearing, and really understanding how to use it to your advantage. So here is my promise to you, where you're sitting here and going, I don't have time, mental energy, or any of the things to do this. Having a framework to follow enables your clothes to not be a thing. So if you don't want to think about what you're wearing, if you don't want to second guess, why am I wearing these shoes? Or I wish this person wouldn't think this, that I didn't wear this thing. You get to get all of your time back in your day, and you get to move on and actually really focus on your work and your family and all of the other priorities you have, not your clothes. So may I ask for you, I know Stephanie is so good at this and really getting everyone engaged, but we have a really short time together, and I really want to help you make a transformation and really think about the way that we're getting dressed. So at the end, I'm going to share with you some information if you want to get additional support on this. And then secondly, I want you all to be super active in the chat. Like, here's the thing. Rising tides raise all ships, and all of you are here for a reason. And when you feel seen and heard in some of this information that I'm sharing with you, it is going to have a lot of momentum with the other women in the room as well. So I want you to right now put the words action taker in the chat, and you are going to commit to, when I'm asking you to raise your hand, when I'm asking you a question, you are going to be an active participant here so you can get the change that you need and why you showed up here. Okay, I see lots of pop-ups of action takers. I love it. So at the end, I will also give you an awesome free gift, which is the question that I get on these webinars all the time. Where do I find professional clothes that I actually like and want to wear? Because it seems like through the pandemic more than ever, there's no more professional clothes for us to find. So here is, I'm going to provide you with a great list of stores of where I shop for my clients to find professional clothes that are nice, as opposed to ones that aren't so nice. So I'm so excited to be able to share that with you. And so here's the thing. In reality, there's a few big challenges. Here they are. Number one, you may have a closet full of clothes and you have nothing to wear. That sounds like you. Pop that one in the chat. Challenge number two, dress codes are more confusing than ever. Like, there is so much back in the office of, I can wear jeans, but I can't. And if I'm seeing this person, maybe I shouldn't be wearing this sort of outfit, or I'm going to a conference and they're not sending out, this is what everyone will be wearing at a conference. Like, I literally am getting on so many phone calls saying, what is the dress code? What's the expectation? What does your day look like? And people are, I don't know. And they're coming back and saying, I'm glad I had a few different options in there. So there's so much, there's no clarity in what you should be wearing. So it's causing a lot of confusion. So there's no strategy behind it. Challenge number three, you don't have time. You're feeling like you have so many other things to do that figuring out how to get dressed is just not something you want to invest time in. And challenge number 4, and I hear this all the time, you don't love what you see in the mirror. So therefore, investing time, money, and energy in getting dressed does not feel so awesome. But here's the thing, I am all about taking negatives and making them into a positive. But here's really the opportunity for us here with some of these challenges. Opportunity number 1 is you probably have a lot of great outfits in your closet. They're just waiting to be discovered. So you probably wear the same thing with the same top with the same pants over and over again. And once you understand how to wear them together, you probably have a lot of good outfits that you can wear. We just don't know how to do it. Opportunity number 2, you need to understand how to adjust the formality of your clothes. So there is an easy way to always dress for the occasion if you know how to adjust it and know what the expectation is and knowing how you need to change that around basing on what you need to accomplish that day. Opportunity number 3, with a plan in place, you get to have all of your time back. So when you know what you should be doing, as opposed to basing what you're wearing on trial and error, you get so much time and mental energy back. And opportunity number 4 is when you learn how to embrace your body as where at this moment, not if you got on the Peloton 3 more times a week, not if you lost 10 more pounds, not if you got back to your pre-pregnancy weight, like that's not happening. Your body has changed forever. You have a child and now you have hips and all of those things. But once you embrace, this is what I have going on here, you get to learn how to dress for your body type now, as opposed to keep playing the waiting game of what if, what if, what if. So here, my story, we've gotten to here and how I came to do what I do and also why this work means so much to me is I grew up in the fashion industry. My family had an accessory store in Queens, about 25 minutes outside of the city. And I loved getting dressed. I loved reading fashion magazines. I loved all of the things that had to do with fashion. All of the things that my clients say they hate and they don't have time for, I love. Then I went to FIT. I got a degree in cosmetics and fragrance marketing and fashion merchandising. And I worked for 10 years in the jewelry industry. I had all of the tools and all of the resources to know how to get dressed with confidence. But guess what? My mind wasn't there. I am 5 feet tall. I am shorter than Stephanie. And I never, no matter what I ever could do, would ever be a size 2. So I was surrounded by all these people that were a foot taller than me and thinner than me and all of these things. And I started to focus on what I didn't have as opposed to what I did have. So while I had all of the resources to dress well, my mind wouldn't let me get there. I spent so much money on tracing trends. I would always panic shop before I go into these huge conferences in Switzerland and in Vegas. And I would literally be in stores for hours, just buying and buying and buying more stuff, thinking that like outfit is going to change and this is going to make me finally feel confident. And I wasted so much time and so much money just trying to find the right answer. And it wasn't until I figured out that I needed to change and shift the way I thought about getting dressed and create a system that was literally 1 + 1 = 2, this is how I get dressed with confidence. This is what works for me, as opposed to focusing on what doesn't work for me. These are the colors that work for me. These are the types of pants that work for me. I got an arsenal of knowledge to how to always dress in my best light. So even when I was being really hard on myself and maybe gained some weight or didn't feel so great that day, I went back to the formula and was able to get dressed in a way that showed me in my best light, as opposed to focusing on the negative. And it was completely life-changing for me to dress that way. It brought me so much simplicity. It gave me so much confidence. And it is still tools that I use myself today when I'm not feeling so great in the morning. But one of the things that really was super eye-opening when I decided to go back to school and get a degree in image consultation and color consultation is my first client. So funny, Stephanie knows her, is a partner in a law firm. And she just thought that my approach to getting dressed with the strategy and simplification was different than anything that she'd ever experienced before. And because I took the idea of let's focus on what works for you and create a system in place. And that is my goal for every woman, is to not feel overwhelmed by their wardrobe, to not be focused on the things that they don't love about themselves, but to really focus on what's working. So you can literally rinse and repeat getting dressed. It gets to be a uniform. It gets to be something that's so easy, and it gets to be your superpower, as opposed to you feeling like you need to hide and not dress like yourself every single day. So that is my mission, is to really teach women in male dominated fields how to use their clothing as part of a support system so they can show up and get dressed with confidence and achieve their really big goals. So how can you relate? I shared a ton of information about myself and about the challenges. Do any of you feel like maybe you panic shop before you have a big meeting, or you're going to a conference, or even one of the biggest challenges I find that a lot of my clients face with, it's not so much the work stuff, it's the weekend stuff. Like you have to go to like that kid's birthday party, or you have to go to a barbecue, or, maybe not investing in yourself because you don't love where your body is at that moment. Or maybe it is, keep trial and error and not being real sure. What is the thing that you feel like you're relating with when it comes to that? Drop it in the chat so we could all learn from each other and also feel seen and heard. So again, my promise to you is that having a framework to follow enables your clothes to not be a thing. So you get dressed with confidence and you move on with your day. So here's some data for you, because I know that you guys love the numbers. 90% of women have clothes in their closet that still have tags. Any of you have that? Have anything hanging in your closet that still has a tag? I see that Stephanie has a blazer that still has a tag hanging on her hanger. 80% of women say that they have clothes in their closet that do not fit them, whether it's too big or too small. 79% say that they have bought something that they knew that they would never wear. Like literally deep down, they're like, in reality, this probably isn't me. Maybe it was sold to you by a salesperson, or maybe it's something that you should have. Those lists, like the Marie Claire, these are the 10 things that everyone should have in their closet. I hate those lists, because everyone has a different lifestyle. Everyone has a different body type. So everyone ends up having a button-down white shirt in their closet. And you may not have a body that is meant for a button-down white shirt. So, but we have some of those stuff hanging in our closet. And then 1 in 3 women say that they are unhappy with their style because they buy things that are on sale. We will not get Stephanie started about her love for TJ Maxx, but wait
a minute.
I am not saying that there's anything wrong with TJ Maxx, but your number one reason for buying something should never be the price tag. Okay.
No, TJ Maxx tells you what you need. You don't tell TJ Maxx. You go in there and it's a treasure hunt. Catherine Austin posted shop opportunities. Some of us enjoy this. Melanie, I think we also there's strategic style and getting dressed, like when you don't have time and you just want to be strategic and know your stuff, but sometimes it's fun, I don't know, to pick out stuff.
I think it's fun. I was raised, I think some of my challenges, I was raised on shopping at Loehmann's and Daffy's and TJ Maxx and Marshalls and all of the things. The thing that we just need to have is we can't just have random stuff, because that just becomes the thing, the 91% of things in your closet. So if you're buying something you fall in love with and it's meant for you, cool, but you need to know how to wear it so it doesn't become part of the 91% of things that are just hanging in there. That's like, this was pretty, but I don't know what to do with it.
I know. I'm so embarrassed to show her my closet. I'm always like, what would Melanie think? And then I'm like, uh-oh. I think 98% of the things in my closet have tags on them, by the way. And I have things, by the way, are you guys in this category? Melanie, you're probably in this category too. Things that you bought during before the pandemic that you forgot you even had. And now it's what's this, right?
Here's the funniest thing. Let me share something with you. There was the headshot for this thing. I just did a new photo shoot 4 weeks ago, and I'm wearing these hot pink pants. You remember hot pink pants? I bought those pre-pandemic. Yeah. And because I was speaking on stages and all of the things, all of 2020. And the funniest thing is that I bought that shirt to wear for my photo shoot thinking I was wearing it with a different pair of pants. And then I went to go pull that blazer out and I found those pants hanging on the same hanger. And I'm like, oh my God, it works.
Right? See, so there's all these things that like it's like before that I have a bunch of Melanie work clothes in my storage unit in the basement of my building. I mean, I live in Manhattan, so I can't put everything in my apartment, but I forgot what I own and life changed so much. So I don't know. Sometimes I shop in my own closet, but other times I'm like, I don't even want any of this stuff anymore. I like have all these like work suits and I'm like, ugh, whatever, goodbye, I'll donate them. So I'm just not the same person I was pre-pandemic. I'm sure many of you feel the same way. So.
Especially if you don't need to wear suits anymore. Like,
yeah,
exactly. It's a different thing. Okay, so here are the 3 steps that are going to get us into clarity and reality. Number 1, you have to get clear on what your style actually is. So you don't go into TJ Maxx and get tempted by the price tag. And then like 2 months later, be like, why did I buy this? I don't even think that I like it. So here is the impact of when you aren't clear of what your style is. You don't know what you're working towards. So you are going into a store and you're just being sold something. You're walking by and you're like, this is pretty, or this is nice. Should I have this? And you just keep gathering and gathering and gathering with no end goal. It's like you saying, I'm going to really build my business a lot this year. What does that mean? A lot could be, I'm going to get 5 new clients. I'm going to, double my book. Like, what does that mean? So you need to know what you're working towards in order for you to build the steps to get there. Number 2, because of that, you're wasting time, money, and energies because you don't know what you're working towards. You're a little spinning in circles and you just keep buying some stuff, trying some stuff. You really need to get clear of this is what works for me. And then the 3rd is that you're not having consistency. So you're not showing up as reliable. So our clients and everyone that around us likes to know what to expect. No one wants a surprise. No one wants to get on a Zoom call with you and be like, you are not the same person that I saw on your LinkedIn profile. Because all of they're doing, if there is a disconnect, they're only focusing on the disconnect. It doesn't matter what you're saying. So we really want to make sure that we're always showing up in the same person because that builds trust immediately. If someone knows, oh, Melanie's going on a computer screen, she probably is going to have pink on. Same thing with Stephanie. Like, okay, it's like a breath of fresh air. Okay, you're doing what you're supposed to do. And now we can move on and go out through our day. If you're all over the place with your style, there's no consistency, there's no trust. And it's really hard for people to feel like they can rely on you. So here's the reasons why you may not even know how to figure out what your style is, because this is what you're always told is this is how you can figure out your style. Pinterest. You're supposed to go on Pinterest and go figure out what your style is. Has anyone gone on Pinterest? Okay. I tell my clients to go on Pinterest, but after I give them like lots of guidance and we figure out what your style is first, Pinterest is like the black hole. If anyone has like designed anything, I know I was designing my basement and I was looking for some cool storage stuff for my son's toys. I got so lost in a black hole. I was looking at like lawn furniture, like it was in so many different directions. So Pinterest is really cool if you know how to use it, but it's not going to really like help you figure out what your style is unless you know how to articulate what your style is and you know how to put the search parameters in. It's like going into Google and being like black shirt, like 7,000 pages of black shirts, like not helpful. The second thing is that you may be told by a social media influencer that this is what you should be wearing, or this is what you should, like a like to know it, or someone that you follow, a blogger or someone on Instagram or something like that. It's great if you find the right influencer, but more times than not, a lot of the people that are showing clothes to you are not your people. They're not in your profession. So you're always seeing something and you're like, but I can't wear that to work. If I were to wear that in a law firm, I get fired. So like you kind of have a lot stacked up against you. The other thing with social media influencers is they don't look like us. They're like basically a version of a celebrity. Most of them are a size 2. They probably don't have your hair coloring, your skin coloring, your body type. So your automatic knee-jerk reaction is, I like that, but that's meant for her and not meant for me. So the key around that is really to find people that look like you and people that are in your profession that you can look up to and like their style. challenging in a male dominated field. I'm not going to tell you this is an easy thing. A lot of the women that I work with are like, I'm the only woman in a room, so it's hard to gauge what I should be wearing because every single guy is wearing khakis and a navy blazer. What do I wear? So this is why a lot of the reasons why you feel like you don't know your stylist. And then the third is that maybe you went into a store or use a subscription box or go to, let's say, White House Black Market because they are very good at helping you. Or maybe even hired a stylist before. Maybe you hired someone to help you. But because you guys are speaking different languages, because someone who works in the fashion industry speaks fashion. I did a post on this on LinkedIn a few weeks ago, is they are going to ask you all of these like questions about what your style is. And they're going to bring up all these words like peplum and fitted and you are like, I don't speak that, because you literally are speaking completely different languages. You can't articulate what you like and they can't articulate what they're trying to say. So you literally need a translator to speak that. So you are kind of being told by them, oh, you're an attorney, this is what you should wear because this is what all attorneys wear. They're putting you in a box because that's easier, as opposed to doing the deep work and figuring out what works for you. So this is this really cool system that I created because I kept bumping into the same challenges with my clients of being able to speak the same language and help them articulate what exactly their style is. And the really amazing thing that I love about this is that when someone is able to articulate and understand what their style is and why it works for them, they wear things with so much more confidence because there's a meaning behind it. So it's so much more than the clothes. There's actually the messages that your clothes are sending. It's actually, there's a purpose behind it. Because our clothes send messages with colors and shapes and patterns and all the things, once you know it's part of your support system and it's saying the things you want it to say, you're going to go and do it, as opposed to someone being, this is nice, you should go wear it. So when you're able to go through the system and self-identify, what we do is we really go through these 5 steps. The first step is understanding the messages that you want your clothing to send. The second is really knowing where to look for inspiration and where you can see things that people that have your same position in life look like you, dress like you, people that you look up to that you could see yourself wearing that clothes, as opposed to being, not meant for me. I'll tell you a really quick, very quick story. I was just on the phone with a client that is in my standout style program. And she was sharing with me that she was at a junior league something last week where a lot of women were getting awards. And she noticed that all of the women that were that were getting the awards are plus size. And she's like, every single woman up there was around my size, around my shape, but they were wearing such beautiful color. And she found herself saying, I wish I could pull that off. And when you see, and then she like quickly stopped herself and said, these women are the same stature of their life. They look like me and they're doing it. So it was giving her permission to do it as well. When you see other people that look like you and are in your same element doing it, it's like it's available for you, as opposed to your brain saying not meant for me, meant for her. So that's what's really, really cool about this. The third thing is that you get to understand what works for you. So that's your signature. So it's the colors, the prints, the textures, the silhouettes, as opposed to you leading with trial and error of, I hope this color looks good on me and I hope this thing looks good on me. It's no, I know 9 out of 10 times this is going to work for me. So you know how like you go into like a fitting room and you grab a whole bunch of stuff and you get disappointed when 3 things don't fit. This is the exact opposite, being like, these are the things that most likely are going to work for me. So you get the momentum of, oh, I like this. This is working. I want to try more, as opposed to, I'm walking out of here and I don't want to do this ever again. My clothes in my closet are just fine. The fourth thing that gets to happen is you understand the items that you're excited about, whether it's shoes or accessories. For everyone, it's different. And then the fifth thing, and this is the big aha, is where do you actually shop? We all usually shop at the same place. Like we go to the same 3 or 4 stores. And we then will say, oh, there's nothing for me to buy because I don't like what's in those 3 or 4 stores. But what actually ends up happening is once you get an idea of what your style is, there's probably a lot more that's available for you. You just didn't know it was out there. So you get to learn other stores that may be outside of your comfort zone or something you've never tried before, but you get to understand the places that have stuff that's meant for you when your stores that you've gone to for so long don't, for a variety of reasons. So here is one of my clients. She is Pam Moss. She is owns her own law firm. She wrote a book. She has a podcast. And when we first met, she said to me, I'm an attorney. I only wear black blazers. That was her. She was like, I know I shouldn't be wearing a black blazer, but it's my security blanket. I feel like it's the way that everyone knows that I'm an attorney. And she went through that style framework. And the coolest thing that happened to her is she got to realize that her style is magnetic, and that creating connection with her clothes is part of her brand and part of her personality. So it became her dressing in a way with great colors became part of how she connected with people. And people constantly, even will write me yesterday before I was on the phone with someone else, and they're like, oh, Pam's blue suit. And I'm like, oh, she's getting like really the colors creating that connection. And once you know something is made for you, it becomes so apparent and you get excited about it, as opposed to, I don't know if I should be doing this. So this is really awesome. And I love when you feel like your clothing is actually part of you. So we spoke about this before, is kind of those restricted sheath dresses. And I love using the example of Robin Wright on House of Cards. At the beginning of when the show first started, she was like, work for a non-for-profit. Her hair was wispy. She like looks like, anyone that anyone could be friends with. But at the end of the last season, when she was she was the president at the end, the costume designer was hired to make her feel physically uncomfortable in her clothes. Like there was so much structure in her clothes that she literally was uncomfortable, and it made her like stand up so straight. And there was so much like level of structure and rigidness. And that's what our clothes do. Our clothes tell people if we're friendly, if we're approachable, if we're warm, if we want to create a connection with people, or if we're putting people at a distance. So we really want to make sure that we have a true understanding of what we want our clothes to do for us, because we may go into a room and say, I want to connect with like 10 different people here. I'm so excited. But if you are wearing this really structured red dress, you're not showing up as that person. You're saying like, back off to me. So we really want to think about the messages that our clothing is sending. So here is something that I want you all to do. If you've been on a webinar for me before, you may have done this, but it's probably different now. So I want you to write me a quick email. I know your phone is somewhere near you, and say, what is something that you want someone to think about when you walk into a room? Like what? Don't make it grammatically correct. It can be one word. It could be 3 words. Doesn't have to be a complete sentence. Just write me an email of what is it when you walk into a room that you want someone to automatically think of you. And I will write you back with what are a few things you could incorporate into your wardrobe to ensure you're sending that message. I'll give you a second to hit send while I take my sip of water.
I love that. Well, while you guys are doing that, I love that. And I have to tell you that Robin Wright example is such a good one. Like I totally forgot what she looked like that first season, but she does look so uncomfortable. Even her hair is like so like soldier like and very like, just I don't know.
All of like the attorney headshots.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, which I'm, by the way, telling people they should rethink how they do attorney bio photos, because first of all, we're not wearing the suit tie, and for men, the suit, the tie look, but I think we also need a more approachable look. And I think every single person who has a headshot, first of all, I think every person should have a headshot, but they should have multiple headshots of themselves, because you'll need them, somewhere down the line, but you want to have different options of the clothes of the way you show up, like you say, in the different outfits. So I definitely have a more conservative one. And then I have one where I feel like I'm a little less buttoned up and all that sort of thing, but definitely no Robin Wright outfit.
I'll tell you something funny is that, so I have a client that I think I actually connected with her on one of the Women That Wow webinars. And so my old headshot was me wearing a black shirt and a blue blazer and a blue necklace. And I love pink. Pink is one of my favorite colors, but I always had in my head this idea that attorneys are going to think that I'm going to put them in pink and put them in leopard if that's how I show up. Like that was my own limiting belief that if I'm working with this demographic of people, I can't do that. So I went and I had my pictures done, and there was some, I was literally wearing like blue, I changed it up. I had a blue blazer on, and the client shared with me 2 weeks ago. She's like, I love your new headshots. They feel like you. And it's something I would have been much more attracted to you. She's like,
Yep.
I got to know you, so I knew you weren't that person, but the fact that that's what you were leading with kind of made me double think working with you, because I'm like, I don't need someone else to tell me to wear like a blue blazer. Like, so it was a kind of a crazy thing of me wearing like pink pants and an orange blazer in that. But I only want to work with people that want me to, that are looking to up level and look to a little bit step outside of their comfort zone.
100%.
Like I'm saying, I'm going to put you in pink pants, but
no,
you want someone that's guiding you to have the balls.
Right. Also, Melanie, you need to update your LinkedIn headshot as well.
Oh, I just had that headshot done.
I like it, but I think I like the one in this invite with the pink and everything. I really think it matches your personality. So,
I think so, Joe.
We're getting
it was
a lot of
one of those, like I went to some place and they did the headshot. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I guess I should.
I know. And yes, and I agree. People are saying they like your LinkedIn banner. Yes, and you're taking a lot of my advice on that. Like it's very clear what Melanie does and for whom she does it and how to get in touch with Melanie. So that's one of my favorite tips, guys. Put that in there. I'm also going to give you guys a free tip at the end of the program on LinkedIn, something you didn't even sign up for that just happened. So everyone needs to do today, but Melanie, including you, I noticed you didn't do it because you probably don't even know it happened, but everyone's going to do it at the end.
I can't wait to hear. Put us in suspense. Okay.
Yes.
Step 2. Okay. Attorneys or people that work in professional environments don't only have to wear black, navy, gray, and maybe tan if you're in a warm climate. Obviously, it's something we keep.
Can you say that again for the people in the back? Because we have been told, I'll tell you something, Melanie, just true story, 1 second. I was told I had too much sunshine at one law firm that will remain nameless, and that I should like tone down my colors, and that I needed to go buy like gray, black, and navy suits. So some of these firms, I think things have changed, but we've been indoctrinated to believe this and to fit in and not to stand out. So it's hard for us.
And it's not only law school. It happened way before law school. I am going through like a neuro training coaching program, which I'm so obsessed with because it's really about kind of helping this stuff from when you were 7 years old and how it affects the way that you see yourselves and the way that you get dressed. But it's also as high achieving women and people that have gotten a certain stature in their life, you haven't done that by not having something happen to you. Like the fact that you're a high achieving person, it's because someone once said to you, like, why did you get a 95, not 100? Like there's so many, it goes even deeper than law school. It is like law school put, the nail in the coffin of you need to wear that. But the years of your upbringing and the thoughts and the feelings that you had about yourself of always wanting to do it right and always, never being wrong and playing by the rules and coloring inside the lines also helped kind of make that when one person said that to you, it made it stick as opposed to being like, that's kind of ridiculous. And here's the thing is that no matter if you work in big law and you work for a big firm, or if you work for yourself, or if you're in marketing, you are your own brand. Like people work with people that they like and that they know and that they trust. And yes, I am not saying that you wearing a hot pink blazer in every situation is the end all be all, but you creating connections with people is where it's at. And that's not happening in black, navy, gray, and sometimes tan. And it's really about you're at a certain point of your life. And this is when clients come to work with me, that they decide that they are no longer living by these archaic rules that were put into place hundreds of years ago, and that they are smart enough, they're accomplished enough that they get to decide what they're going to wear. And no one is going to think that they are not capable of doing their job because of it. They're actually going to be attracted to them. And the coolest thing that gets to happen is your clothes get to be a magnet. So while they attract your people to you, they also repel the people that you don't want to work with far, far away from you. And that to me is the greatest thing possible. If you don't like that I'm wearing a hot pink blazer, I probably don't want to have a 5-second conversation with you. So it really is about getting your people to you and quickly saying, you are not meant for me. Go work with a guy that's wearing the black blazer down the block. Like, he is meant for you, and go find him. I am not your cup of tea.
I'm clapping for that, because we want to attract the people, like you said, who want to do business with us, who like, who like us for us. And these are nonverbal ways of communication and nonverbal ways of showing up. And it's just as important as the things that we say. So we draw people in, and I'm seeing somebody say, we're not just drawing people in, but we're turning people away you don't want to know. 1,000,000%. And if somebody is drawing conclusions about you based on the way you look, and they're negative ones, I'm not sure that's even somebody you really even want around anyway. So who can, if they're judging.
Thank you for self-selecting yourself for my aura.
Exactly, right? Like, oh, because I'm wearing pink, that means I'm not as substantive or a bright color because I'm versus gray, but I can be just as substantive wearing a pink blazer as I can wearing a black blazer. So take that, Mr. or Ms. So-and-so.
It's not always pink. Sometimes it's blue. Sometimes it's green. Like, it's just funny. The two of us are sitting here wearing pink, but it's not saying that you need to wear pink, but it's like, you are allowed to wear green. You are allowed to wear lavender. You are allowed to wear that. And here's what happens is that, unfortunately, 80% of the population does not look good in black on your face. Like, it makes you look tired. It makes you look like you need to go take a vacation. And also, it does not translate very well on Zoom, because these little cameras are not meant to do what they are doing right now. And it just, having color near your face just automatically illuminates you and looks more rested. Color creates connection. So it really is the way that someone is going to get drawn to you is if you're wearing a color. It's going to start a conversation. If you go to a networking event and you're wearing a black wrap dress, it's going to be you and 10 other people. If you're wearing, let's say, green, or you're wearing burgundy, you're going to be the one that stands out, and someone's going, I'm going to go talk to her because she looks like she's got something different to say. And people want to be part of, someone who is welcoming and someone that's engaging and all of that. I'll give you another example. Like, have you ever thought about, and I only know because I was very curious about it, why judges wear black robes? Judges wear black robes because they're not allowed to have an opinion. Like, because the law is what they are, that is what their job is, to say, like, I have no opinion. This is what the law says. And this is what, what is the result of the law. That's no connection right there. So that's why they're in black, like, because it's like, that's it. And, there's a time and a place, like, I'm drawing my, the line in the sand and I'm not moving, but that's not how we work in business. That's how we work in connections. It's a give and a take and an interaction. So you want to create that connection with your clothes as well.
Can I say something also that's really interesting? Also, I like in this picture, the black is a texture. It's leather or, faux leather, whatever it is. So maybe there's a way to work in a texture if you're going to wear black. Exactly. Also, guys, for those, true life story, the keynote speaker of a legal marketing association conference a couple of years ago was wearing all black. Okay. And she had dark hair, like Melanie's color. Well, we didn't ask the question about what the backdrop, this is an in-person conference, what the backdrop looked like. Guess what the color the drapes were, Melanie?
She was just a floating head.
Yes. Okay. So guys, picture this. It's a black stage. Okay. The dais is black. The platform is black. The curtains are black. She's wearing a black wrap dress with a blazer and black tights and black pumps. And she has her hair in a ponytail, which is your color. So all we saw was a head. Yeah.
So that's the number one thing I have to say. So a lot of my clients speak on stages or speak on panels or on like AJ, like on different panels. The number one thing that you are allowed to ask is what color is the stage I am speaking on, because it's super important. And when you wear color on a stage, it makes it, because let's put it this way, no one is looking at you 100% of the time. They're looking at their watch, they're looking at their phone. When you're wearing a color, they can find you immediately. If you are wearing black, they're going to have to hunt, and then their phone's going to distract them 2 seconds later. So the color also creates a lot of the connection as well when you're speaking on a stage.
A lot of us though hide behind black because we think it makes us look skinnier, or we're trying to, whatever it is, blend in, or, you know, and I think that's something we should get away from. So,
yeah.
Okay.
And black is the #1 cause of style ruts. So a lot of times when we buy those pieces and we're like, I don't know what to wear with it, you're like, I'll just wear it with black. Like, so we have a lot of things in our closet that in our minds, we'll just wear it with black, but ultimately probably didn't work out that way. So here's the quick fix. Stop wearing black. And listen, I know all of the reasons why black is the most amazing color in the universe. Like Stephanie said, it, you know, makes us look thin. No one has an opinion about black. No one is going to say, oh, she's wearing black again today. And we know how to wear black, but we get to do the same exact things with other conservative colors like burgundy, navy blue, hunter green, dark purple. Like those do all of the same things that black does. It's just adding a little bit more texture and a little bit more personality. So here are some other conservative colors. Like, you know, no one can say, oh, she looks completely inappropriate because she's wearing teal or hunter green or burgundy. These still look extremely conservative, but also has a little bit more uniqueness and also creates that connection in there as well. So one thing also that I love, so let's take burgundy, for example. Burgundy goes with so many other things. And this is one of the biggest challenges that women have. And one of the biggest takeaways that women get that go through my program is, I'm allowed to wear these colors together, or these go. And it's like, yes, once you understand how to wear a color in a few different other colors, the world's your oyster. You have so many other options. So for example, like burgundy here looks beautiful with blush, looks beautiful with teal, periwinkle, looks really good with leopard. It's one of my favorite things. And like this paisley sort of floral thing. There's so many options with other colors that are not black. It's just, you need to learn how to figure it out and step this much out of your comfort zone, just that. So it really is easy to incorporate other things if you know how to do it. So here's the color utilization process. And this is how I work with my clients to figure out what colors look good on them to the ultimate goal of having the outfits they like wearing. The first thing is you learn what colors look good on you. So there's a whole entire science behind what colors look good on you. It's based on your skin tone, your hair color, and your eye color. So it's like, these are the things that you know look good on you. So you have the confidence to wear them as opposed to trial and error and saying, I hope this looks good. The second thing is then we focus on what the colors that you have and how to make them work for you. What colors maybe are in your branding, because you never want to like go wear a color and then get a picture taken of you and be like, oh, I can't use this on LinkedIn because it's totally clashing with everything else I'm using. And then also just making sure that we can hone your closet to make it work for you and feel like it's you. Then you learn how to implement the colors. So you learn how to actually wear them. So it's not like these are, you know, a lot of women get a color analysis and they get a piece of paper and like, okay, what do I do with this? But it's really learning how to take that information and putting it into your everyday life and into your closet and into your clothes, so you know what to do with it and how to wear it. And then you get to have outfits. And that's the coolest thing, is instead of you buying one shirt and it goes with one pair of pants, it's actually you buying a shirt and it goes with 4 pairs of pants. And for a lot of my clients that travel and go to conferences, what we do is we really focus on 2 colors. And I did this myself. I went to LA for a week and did 5 different million things. I went to Disney and went on a little mini trip with my husband and all of the things. And because I only picked 2 colors, I was able to wear my clothes so many different ways because everything mixed and matched with each other. It wasn't like I need to go pack my whole entire closet. So when you're traveling for work, that's so important for you to have this very streamlined color palette, so everything kind of goes together. So here is one of my clients. We went from her having a sea of options to us figuring out these are her colors. Like literally, these are the colors she wears. Like it actually is kind of freeing to be like, I only wear 5 colors. But then what she was able to do is use those colors in her photo shoot, and then also became her whole entire personal brand. So when she's doing posts for LinkedIn or social media, it just is like, these are my colors that I wear. These are the colors that are part of my brands, and people know her for those colors. So it's taking a lot of the guesswork out of it and making it super easy to wear color, as opposed to it being very overwhelming and intimidating. So let's try something really quick. Pop in the chat. Think about someone that, whether it's someone that you interact with at a conference, or someone that maybe you see in the office, someone you see on the subway some days, you know, you kind of see the same people. If you commute, like you see the same few people. Think of someone that like you kind of are in awe of, or you think that they dress well. Someone that like commands respect and is well respected. Maybe they're on a board of something, you know. Think about, what color does she wear? Does she wear black, or is she wearing something else? Pop in the chat, like, what's a color that you feel like of someone that you look up to or respect, or you like their style? What's a color that you find that they're wearing? Okay, so step 3, here is the bee's knees when it comes to it. You need to have outfits and not items. It is the biggest mistake I see people have, is they have a bunch of random stuff in their closet. And the goal is for you to have outfits hanging in your closet. So you just get dressed and you move on for your day, with your day. So the impact of not having outfits, it is, you have decision fatigue. So your analytical brain likes lots of info, but it doesn't take any action. So you keep like spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning. You settle for good enough choices. So when it starts taking more than 5 or 7 minutes to get dressed, you're like, oh, this is fine, I just need to move on. And it ends up, that's when like 2 hours into your day, you're like, what am I wearing? Why did I put this on? Or you waste a lot of time and money on the quest for solutions. So a lot of people will be like, oh, I'm just going to buy this one thing and it's going to change everything. And it ends up not. So drop in the chat really quickly, how long does it take you to get dressed each day? And a day that, like, let's say you're going to the office, you're going to a conference, you're going to a networking thing, not like you're going to go hop on Zoom, but how long does it take you to get dressed each day? $10 minutes, 10 minutes. See, lots of 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. If you plan ahead, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Okay. You're not alone. Whatever it was, on average, women spend 4,380 hours of their lifetime figuring out how to get dressed. And that's what 17 minutes is what the average is. It's a lot of time. If you guys bill by the hour, it's a lot of billable hours. So here's the good thing about getting dressed is, once you have this formula of getting dressed, it gets to be super, super easy. So like, I'm not a great chef. I literally gave my husband like salmonella poisoning the first time I cooked dinner for him, but I can follow a recipe. So it's the same exact thing. You can follow a recipe of, going to a grocery store and figuring out what to buy. And if you just learn a few things in a formula, it becomes super, super easy of how to put outfits together, as opposed to basing it on trial and error each day. So this is one of my favorite lessons to teach. It's one of many, but when you pull a color from a print, you automatically have a pulled together outfit. So if you go into your closet and you have something that has a print and you just start finding colors that go with it, it is easy to play with color. It's easy to put together outfits, and then you can literally coordinate all the colors together. If you see in my shirt has this pink in there. That's why this blazer goes with it. So if you were just looking for a quick and easy way to put together polished outfits, it would be using this color theory right here. So that's a great way. So here's one of my clients who literally went through my program and really learned how to embrace color and to wear color. And what she got out of it is that she no longer just buys random pieces that don't have a purpose, that doesn't wear. And she really has a clear idea of what she's gravitating towards and what she's moving towards. And she's saving lots and lots of time and lots of energy. So my goal for you is to only buy items that are parts of outfits and not to keep just buying random items. So if you are going to TJ Maxx, I want you to come to know that what you are buying is either going with something that you already own, or you are buying the whole outfit that day, because that's when you kind of start having the things that are ending up in your closet that still have the tags on because you don't know how to wear it. How does that sound, everyone? Does that sound good? Does that sound like a good goal for us to have? to only be buying outfits or pieces of outfits. So here's my bonus. I know we are getting towards the end. If anyone needs to jump off, I know the recording is going on, but this is one of the biggest, most important ones for women. You need to dress the body that you embrace, the body that you have right now. Like, stop waiting and hiding and doing all of those things. This is super, super important. The impact of you not doing that is that the way that you shop, you edit your closet, and that you get dressed and is in a place of lack. Like, you are just focused on what isn't as opposed to what is. It's like whatever you focus on is what's going to happen for you. So if you focus on what you don't have, all you're going to get is more of what you don't have. If you focus on, I love my hair, or I'm super excited about these new shoes and I'm going to wear them and I'm going to find a shirt to match. If you come from a place of excitement and it'll come from a place of what's possible, that is when the good stuff happens. That is when people are like, I want to be near her. I want to be close to her. I want to see what she's doing, as opposed to you kind of hiding and waiting and not being sure and not, because what ends up happening is someone will ask you to speak on a panel and you'll say, I don't have anything to wear. Like, you start finding yourself not going to things. I've gotten on the phone with people and they're like, I missed 3 things last week because the idea of getting dressed for them was stressing me out. So I just said, no, thank you. And it was 3 things that you could be in contact with clients in, and that's major. So, and if you keep doing the same thing and you're expecting a different result, we know what the definition of that is. It ain't happening. If you keep doing it over and over again, it's not going to be different. And then the impact is you're hiding. Like, you really are not dressing in a way that is attracting people to you, and you're really using your clothes to hide. So here's a whole lot of information that is scary statistics, but 46% of women have wanted to try a new trend that they saw and they couldn't find it in their size. I hear this all the time because of everything on social media. Normally is made in a size 2 or 0. But as far as body confidence, 43% of women say they struggle with body confidence when they're shopping with clothes. And that's really sad, because you're coming from a place then of hiding when you're going to shop. Only 12% say that they feel confident in a fitting room, and 1 in 10 say they never feel confident in how they look. And the average woman says only feels confident in her clothes about 4 days of the week. And that comes from, again, that place of lack and really hiding in your clothes, as opposed to really focusing on what's possible and just accepting. Like, I've mentioned this before, and I mention it a lot, is that a lot of the women that I work with are plus size and they're rocking it. Like, they are showing up in their clothes and they are having fun, experimenting, and they're just loving color, because it's coming from a place of excitement and them trying something new, as opposed to, please don't look at me, which unfortunately sometimes that's where our head goes, is I don't want anyone to be looking at me because I'm not happy with myself at the moment. So the goal is to embrace your body. And the way that we do that is by wearing clothes that fit well, that balance our proportions and highlight our best feature. The number 1 rule when it comes to getting dressed, I don't want to overwhelm you because it really is our bodies are butterflies and fingerprints. They're all different. But the number 1 rule when it comes to getting dressed is we want to show off our waistline. So many women are covering with a shirt, or covering their butt, or covering their stomach, or covering. It actually makes us look a lot bigger, and it makes us look frumpier. So you'll notice in all of these situations, there's a defined waistline there, and we get to create that. So the key is really figuring out how to create a version of that hourglass figure, and just have something that comes in a little bit and goes out. And that's what I love about clothes, is clothes get to create optical illusions. It's not just about, drawing attention and doing all of that. We get to create a shape that we may or may not have. But once you learn the optical illusion that's right for you, you get to rinse and repeat and do it over and over again. And again, it comes from a place of you being excited and showing up as yourself, then coming from a place of hiding. So here's one of my clients, and she went from like, oh, I hate getting dressed, to like, I'm booking this like amazing photo shoot and she looks fabulous in it. And she's actually a CPA for attorneys, and she felt for her whole entire life, she was like blending in. And now she's having so much fun dressing for her body type and dressing in color, and just, making fun connections and being noticed. And she's speaking on a huge stage next week. And she's excited about it and not stressing out about what to wear. And that's where it really comes from, is with the intention and having some tools to use, you get to lean into what's exciting about it as opposed to being dreading it. And that's what my goal is for everyone, is to be excited about the opportunity and the possibility, as opposed to hope they don't call on me because I don't want to be noticed today. So here is one of my favorite quotes. Peak performers develop powerful mental images of the behavior that will lead to the desired results. They see in their mind's eye the result they want and the actions leading towards it. Anyone that has done any sort of personal development, mindset work, the key to all of it is envisioning. So if you see the situation happening, if you see your goals happening, if you put words to it and smells and all of the things, anyone has done any sort of visioning exercise with personal development can kind of share some of the things that they've used. But what I love about what I do is closing is the physical part of you stepping up into your next level. So we all here have heard dress for the job that you want, not the job that you have, but your clothes actually get to do that for you. So if in your mind, your ultimate goal for this year is I want to work with high net worth clients, or I want to sign this really big client, or you know what, I'm going to find 3 new referral sources, whatever it is. If you are able to step into that person and dress like the person that already is doing that and already is attracting that, it helps that thing happen so much faster. So my job and my goal is to help women figure out what their next level is and then dress like the person who's already achieved their goals, because it collapses time. Like my clients will be like that, like Jessica, for example. When we first started meeting, I like to speak on a stage. No, she started dressing like it, and it happened 2 weeks later. Like this happens. This is like magic, the way that this happens. When you start dressing and feeling, because you start acting from a different place, it's super, super exciting. And it's amazing to say. So I love for you to decide today that instead of living in hiding and wearing lots of black blazers, are really not clinging to your old clothes, old habits, and items that your future self would never wear. So I really would love for you to figure out, what you're working towards and how to start dressing like that person. And I will pop in the chat that gift for professional clothes. I'll send it to you, Stephanie, so you can put it in the replay. It's for everything for that. And then I am happy to answer any questions. If anyone has specific questions, if anyone kind of loved what they learned here and they're like, I want to learn what to actually do with it. And, the key for me, I'm a coach. I believe in coaching, having accountability, learning the steps and the formulas is really what makes this work. So if anyone's intrigued by it, I'm happy to answer any information about programs or working together or any of the things. So here for whatever questions you have, and I can't wait to share whatever knowledge I can with you.
All right, awesome. Also, guys, you'll notice so I'm wearing a much more neutral nail color today, but I don't often, and Melanie doesn't, and she posted about that. And I think that's also another place where you can show your style, your creativity. I know that it was frowned upon at law firms to have even a dark color, like a wicked kind of color. So we always felt like we had to do this, but we don't. So anyway, I know we're running over. So I'm glad. So yeah, let me put this link in for everybody.
I just did it for, sorry, I just did it.
No, that's okay. I just put it in here. I will send guys a recap of all of this, a recap of the program, and we'll also, Melanie will give me that other resource to send to you guys. So, but please follow her on LinkedIn and on Instagram. I think she's a great resource. There really is nobody doing what you're doing, Melanie, and we really appreciated it. For those of you, I changed mid-program, and again, accidentally with this pink. So somebody asked me about petites. This is like Macy's INC brand petite, which I think can also fit really well if you're a petite person looking for work clothes. So, anywho, thank you guys for joining Melanie. We love you. Thank you. Come back any other time. If you guys have suggestions for our future programs, let us know. I love that the chat just blew up this entire time. It just goes to show you guys that we can still have fun on Zooms, and I'm going to continue doing Women Who Wow Zooms for a very long time because I think it's just very easy for us to facilitate these kinds of programs. So stay tuned for the next one. And hopefully you guys are all on the mailing list. Melanie, thank you so much. And yeah, this has been great. So happy Wednesday. And maybe buy something pink. Maybe.
So you can fit in.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day. Thanks, Melanie.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye-bye.